Nia Bennett felt the tension in the room the second everyone went quiet. 14 people crowded around the table in that Baltimore brownstone. Andre's family, her family now only in name. Just a moment ago, it was laughter, wine, gossip, talk about how good the brisket turned out. Now, every eye was on Evelyn Bennett. Evelyn sat at the head of the table. Purple dress, pearls. Her late son once gave her a performance in progress. She raised her hand like she was calling church to order. Before dessert, she started, this family needs to address a serious matter. Nia kept still. Her daughter, Ava, just 10, sat next to her silently folding a napkin over and over. It had been 18 months since Nia lost Andre. In those 18 months, Evelyn treated Nia less like family, more like a problem she couldn't fire. The Sunday dinners got easier to skip. Why keep showing up just to hear how you're parenting all wrong? The family's restaurant needed volunteers, but Nia had her own job. Corporate, full-time, and demanding. But the real fight, the one no one said aloud, was about money. Andre's life insurance hadn't gone to the family, it had gone straight to Ava. Nia made sure of it. Evelyn never forgave her for that. Grief, Evelyn could handle. Losing control? Not a chance. We have tried to support Nia, Evelyn kept going. But she has become distant, secretive, and disrespectful toward this family. Heads nodded. Eyes darted away from Nia. Nobody wanted to meet her gaze. She could almost hear the phone calls that led to this. Evelyn spent weeks dialing each relative, whispering that Nia wanted to sell Andre's share, or that she was keeping Ava away, or that she thought she was too good for them now. Not a word of it true. But say anything enough times and nervous people start to believe it. My son valued unity, Evelyn said. Nia no longer does. I believe she should not be invited to any more Bennett family gatherings. Aunt Rochelle shifted in her seat. Evelyn, maybe we should talk. We're talking as a family, Evelyn snapped. Those who agree, raise your hands. She went first. Then Tasha, Nia's sister-in-law. Malcolm, her husband, followed. One after another, hands went up. Some fast, others with a hint of regret. Nia counted 11. 11 people she'd fed, helped, lent money to, given advice. Now they were voting her out. Tasha leaned back, looking pleased. This is not personal. We're protecting our peace. Nia stared at her. She'd kept Tasha's bakery afloat, paid bills when the ovens nearly got repossessed. Malcolm cleared his throat. We just think space would be healthy. Your independence can feel hostile, Nia. You don't give the family room to guide you. Guide me. You know what I mean. No, Nia said, even. Explain it. He had no answer. Evelyn cut in. This attitude is exactly why we're here. Nia could have fired back with all their secrets. The debts, the calls for help, the times they needed her. Instead, she watched. In business, she'd learned people reveal who they are once they assume they've won. Ava's voice broke the silence. Grandma, does this mean I'm banned too? Evelyn's mouth tightened. This is grown folks' business. But my mom is my family. Ava, stop interrupting. Ava shrank in her seat. And that changed something inside Nia. She'd taken plenty over the years, difficult bosses, office politics, attempts to drag her name through the mud. But she was not letting Evelyn make Ava feel unwanted. She stood, the chair scraping the floor. Everyone watched as she helped Ava into her coat. Evelyn sat up straighter. You're leaving without apologizing. Nia buttoned Ava's jacket. No. I'm leaving because the vote is over. Tasha scoffed. Don't come back when you realize how much you need this family. Nia grabbed her purse, looked back. Calm. No anger. That unsettled them more than yelling. You've made your decision, she said. Now I'll make mine. Evelyn waved her off. We're not scared of your little corporate threats. It wasn't a threat. Nia's eyes moved over the faces she used to trust. It was notice. She led Ava outside into the cold November air. As soon as the door shut, she could breathe again. Driving home, Ava was silent. Nia glanced at her. You did nothing wrong. Why did they choose Grandma? People pick comfort over truth. Will we go back? Nia looked at the brownstone in the rearview mirror. No. Once Ava was asleep, Nia headed for her office. She unlocked a file cabinet and slid out a folder labeled Harbor Street Holdings. Inside, the ownership records for both buildings that Bennett's Kitchen called home. 3 years ago, Andre admitted the restaurants were sinking debts, unpaid taxes, overdue rent. He was desperate not to shame his mother, so he and Nia set up Harbor Street Holdings. She put in most of the cash. They bought the buildings, became secret landlords. Evelyn never knew. She thought some anonymous group had bailed her out. Nia opened her laptop and called her attorney, Simone Carter.
Nia?
Is everything okay? No, Nia said, but it will be. She opened the latest lease. The restaurants were 3 months behind, failed at basic repairs. Until tonight, she'd been kind, extending deadlines.
No more.
Send them the default notice, Nia said. No more extensions.
Simone paused. You're sure?
Nia remembered Ava's small, frightened voice.
I'm sure.
From now on, I'll deal with them as tenants. By Saturday, Evelyn's side of the story was all over church. Tasha was online, crying to the camera about Nia abandoning a grieving family. Evelyn was the heartbroken grandmother. Nia was painted cold, greedy, and obsessed with money. Nia watched about 30 seconds, then shut it off. Simone called fast. Want to cease and desist?
Not yet.
They're trashing your reputation. They're documenting everything. Nia told Simone, save every video, every lie. She got back to her real life. Took Ava out for pancakes. Finished her weekly report. Stayed away from social media. The silence only made Evelyn louder. Sunday, Evelyn called demanding the return of a restaurant van that Nia and Andre had actually paid for. Nia didn't argue. She handed over the van after she removed everything she had bought, right down to the GPS. It was just an empty shell when it arrived. A note waited on the dashboard. Company vehicle returned. Personal equipment retained. Evelyn called 7 times. Nia ignored them. Monday, a courier strode into Bennett's Kitchen with a thick envelope for Malcolm, who just managed to get himself named the acting financial director without a lick of experience. He opened it in front of the staff. $86,000 owed in rent, penalties, and repairs. 7 days to fix it or the leases were done. At first Evelyn blamed the greedy landlord. Then the economy. Finally, somehow, Nia. But she still didn't know Harbor Street Holdings was Nia. Call her, Malcolm said. She might know someone with the landlord. Evelyn refused. She'll come back when she's serious. Nia stayed gone. The family tried 2 banks. Denied. The books were a mess. Evelyn dipped into business funds for personal expenses. Sales were sliding. To top it off, Simone's audit uncovered worse news. Malcolm had quietly been wiring restaurant money to a buddy's marketing agency, faking invoices, faking campaigns, pocketing almost $40,000. Tasha's bakery was scraping by while her husband funneled cash out the back door. Nia looked at the evidence across Simone's desk. Does Tasha know? No, said Simone. And Evelyn. She signed some of the checks without reading. Nia closed the file. She could blow this up publicly. Instead, she chose quiet. Send a copy to Evelyn and Tasha. Nothing online. Simone raised an eyebrow. I want them to see the truth for themselves, Nia said. What they do next tells me who they really are. The report reached the family during a restaurant meeting. Tasha realized Malcolm stole while she suffered. Evelyn realized the family's business expert was bleeding the place dry. Malcolm stammered about misunderstandings, then tried blaming Nia. But the numbers didn't lie. The family who turned on Nia turned on each other. Tasha told Malcolm to get out. Evelyn cut him off the accounts. The same relatives who raised their hands stopped answering Evelyn's calls. Protecting family peace wasn't convenient anymore. On the 5th day, Evelyn called Nia. Her voice was thin. Nia, sweetheart, I think there's been a terrible misunderstanding. Nia put the phone on speaker, kept sorting Ava's school forms. What misunderstanding? The dinner got emotional. People said things they didn't mean. 11 people raised their hands. They were confused.
By who?
Pause. We were all grieving. Nia let her squirm. Evelyn tried again. The restaurants are struggling. I need you to talk to Harbor Street Holdings.
Why would I?
It's Andre's legacy, Nia. You banned Andre's wife and daughter.
We didn't ban Ava. She heard everything.
Evelyn's breath caught. We could welcome you back, she offered. Not an apology, just a way to control the door again. Nia didn't even want to laugh.
I'm not interested.
Nia, don't be stubborn. Think about Ava's inheritance.
I always do.
Then help us. Nia looked up. Ava sat at the kitchen table, safe, content, busy with a science project. I'll see you on the 7th day, Nia said.
Where?
At the restaurant.
10 a.m.
Evelyn exhaled, relief in her voice. Knew you'd do the right thing. Nia hung up, then signed the final restructuring forms. The restaurants weren't going under. They just weren't going to be controlled by the same people who almost sank them. Assets went into a trust for Ava. Professionals would run operations. Employees kept their jobs. Honest vendors got paid. Family freeloaders got nothing. Nia never planned to destroy Andre's legacy. She was saving it from his own family. On the 7th day, Evelyn came with Tasha and Malcolm. The restaurant was closed. Nia waited at a corner table, Simone and 2 management representatives by her side. Evelyn swept in, best church suit and all. Tasha looked completely spent. Malcolm wouldn't look at anyone. Evelyn sat across from Nia. We're ready to discuss a reasonable extension. There won't be one, Nia said. Evelyn stiffened.
Then why are we here?
Nia slid a folder over. Evelyn opened it. First page, Nia is majority owner of Harbor Street Holdings. Evelyn read, and her world got a little smaller.
What is this?
The truth, Nia said. She explained it, how Andre, desperate, came to her. How behind the scenes, she'd kept their doors open. How she hid her help to save Evelyn's pride. I kept your business alive. I protected Andre's memory.
I protected you.
Evelyn shook her head in disbelief. You expect me to believe you own these buildings? Simone placed the deeds and documents on the table. Tasha's voice trembled. You told us you saved the restaurants. Evelyn had no answer. Malcolm shot up. This was a setup. Simone answered coolly.
It was a lease.
You signed it.
You hid her name.
A private owner doesn't have to introduce themselves. He pointed at Nia. You did this because of family drama. Nia's stare didn't waver.
No.
I'm doing this because the restaurants are broke, the leases are violated, and you stole money.
He looked away.
Nia placed another file in front of Tasha. This time, with even more evidence. More transfers, hotel bills, messages never meant for anyone's eyes. You told me there was no one else. Tasha's voice was barely there. Malcolm reached for her, she pulled back. Nia didn't gloat. Just waited. Evelyn broke the silence. What do you want? I want control of the company.
No.
You lost the right to refuse. This is still my family's business. It belongs to whoever fought for it. Evelyn glared. Andre would have hated this. Disappointment washed over Nia's face. Don't use him to excuse yourself. Evelyn didn't speak. I'll keep the restaurants open. Debts get paid by selling non-essential assets. Professionals will run things. The business, the brand, and the profits go into a trust for Ava. None of you get to borrow or use it again. Tasha wiped away tears. I shouldn't have raised my hand. Nia, quiet. No, you shouldn't have.
I was angry.
No, you were comfortable. Tasha dropped her head. That truth stung. Malcolm tried one more time. Let's fix this together. Simone shut the file. You'll be contacted about repayment. That's it. His face went pale. Are you pressing charges? Nia looked him dead on. That depends. But your job ends today. Security led him out. Tasha followed a few minutes later, saying nothing to her mother. Evelyn remained, smaller now in the dining room she once ran. Will Ava still talk to me? That depends on whether you're someone she can trust. I'm her grandmother. That's not a guarantee. It's a relationship. Nia stood. Evelyn looked around at the old photos on the walls of young Andre, the restaurant's grand opening, old family dinners. A legacy that used to believe its name meant never facing consequences. I thought you needed us, Evelyn admitted softly.
Nia picked up her purse. That was your mistake.
6 months later, Bennett's kitchen was in the black again. Andre's recipes were back. Staff got their missing pay. Scholarships were restored. Nia and Ava's names finally sat beside Andre's. Tasha divorced Malcolm and kept her bakery afloat without family money. Evelyn moved into a tiny apartment, sold the brownstone, lost her spotlight. No one called just to chat anymore, and the silence punished her more than anything else. One Sunday, after closing, Nia and Ava sat in the peaceful restaurant. Ava ate her peach cobbler while Nia reviewed the trust's first report.
Dad would like it here, Ava said.
Nia looked around at the quiet, the calm.
No shouting. No manipulation. No question who belonged.
Yeah, she said.
He would. Ava grinned.
Did Grandma lose because she banned us?
Nia paused. No.
She lost because she thought love gave her permission to control everyone.
She shut the report.
Evelyn tried to twist the story, tried to make the family believe they were better off without Nia. Silent, Nia just got things done.
Protected Ava. Protected the legacy.
And the family only realized too late the woman they'd thrown out was the one quietly keeping them afloat all along. By the time the regret set in, Nia had already changed the lock, secured the restaurant for Ava, and walked away with something they could never take from her peace. So tell us in the comments, was Nia's decision justified, or should she have forgiven the family and given them one final chance? And remember, the people who underestimate your quiet strength are often the same people who regret it when the consequences arrive. Subscribe to Revenge and Redemption Tales and turn on notifications, because here, betrayal never stays hidden, disrespect always leaves a bill, and every choice eventually meets its consequence. Thank you for watching and commenting on this video. See you in the next story.
Bye.